I'm going to address one human right that, in my view, is essential, that is the right to peace. Peace is one of the most precious notions of humanity. And for a long time, it has been regarded as something that is won by wars or an altruistic, unattainable idea. No, peace is attainable. Peace can be reached, and war and confrontation can be overcome, but it needs efforts. It needs continuous efforts by all people, men and women of goodwill. Peace must be an everyday effort. It is a continuous battle against violence, against intolerance, greedy ambitions, against poverty, and against the abuses of human rights and dignity. But peace also needs to be studied in an academic and scientific way. Experts have been studying war since the 18th century, but it is only in the 20th century, late in the 20th century, that the studies of peace have become recognized and as important academic part of studies. It is important to study the factors that encourage peace, the elements that help solve the conflict in a peaceful way. It is important to find why there is tension in this society and how to diffuse this tension. All this explains how important this concept of peace is related to education, to freedom of expression, and to access to information and knowledge. Education, freedom of expression, like peace, are undisputed rights of every person. We need to adopt a more scientific approach to peace. Humanity faces global challenges, and we need global cooperation to confront these challenges. One major challenge is certainly the promotion of peace built on a worldwide culture of peace. Because peace is not only a philosophical concept or an ideal, but it is a way of life. It is a daily behavior, or a behavioral code agreed upon and practiced by human beings and nations alike. But as much as it is a legitimate right for every human being on earth, living in peace is also a responsibility. Because we demand our right for a peaceful life, we should also be able to provide and maintain and promote the same for others. This can only be done through education, through cultural interaction and dialogue, through sharing knowledge and learning to accept one another's culture and tradition. In that context, Wikipedia is instrumental in helping to spread knowledge and give access to information to everybody, thus opening the door to dialogue. I think that what Wikipedia has done is a real revolution, because it has changed the given factors that hindered the dialogue between different cultures, between different civilizations, and thus has won the struggle against distance, against separation of civilization. Today, humanity faces global challenges, and we need global cooperation to confront these challenges. One major challenge is the promotion of a peace built on that worldwide culture of peace that is based on education and the recognition of every individual's right to retain his or her own culture while respecting the culture and freedom of others. In today's rapid technological world advance, everyone should have the opportunity to learn and part of the global system, and to be part of the global system of knowledge. It is therefore necessary for all, especially young people, to use every possible means to educate themselves about their rights, but also to learn more about their responsibilities toward others. And I greet Wikipedia, which constitutes an extraordinary opportunity for those who want to learn. Only through learning and through exchanges can we foster a culture of peace that would enhance our efforts towards attaining sustainable development and harmony in the world. It is also the responsibility of the technologically advanced nations to help the less fortunate population of the world to partake of the knowledge they produce, and also accept that contributions to global knowledge. Indeed, if we were to advocate the rights of education, freedom of expression, and knowledge sharing, we ought to start viewing this as a collective endeavor which members of the human community should shoulder the responsibility of making our world a better place to live in. Only then, and only then, will we be able to achieve the kind of peaceful world we aspire to. A world based on understanding that peace is not only that philosophical concept or that ideal, but it's, again, I repeat that, a way of life and a code agreed upon and practiced by human beings and nations alike. Peace should not be viewed as an elitist or group attitude, but rather as a social practice that characterizes the whole society. A human right that should be asserted and implemented. That is why peace education is essential and should be at the core of the educational systems in all the world, in all schools and universities, thus ensuring the creation of peace-loving citizens and future leaders who are well equipped to foster peace and ensure its sustainability. This is the way to build a global and more humane society that rejects violence, works for justice, prevents disputes from developing into armed confrontations, and promotes sustainable economic and social development. Thus, it is obvious that this aim of harmonious global society is closely linked to the universal right to education. The right to learn, understand, and be able to form one's own opinion based on information is a prerequisite for any responsible citizen to be able to assume his or her duty as a member of the global human family. Education must be a dynamic force related to the behavior of people. It must help them become more tolerant, more merciful, and more loving towards others, and also more attached to universal value. Almost 2 years ago, the Institute for Peace Studies was founded in Alexandria as a non-governmental organization dedicated to promoting the culture of peace. The Institute of Peace Studies is chaired by none other than the First Lady of Egypt, Mrs. Suzanne Mubarak, who has exerted an enormous effort to establish an independent academic entity to promote peace, justice, and human rights. At IPS, we endeavor to promote peace as a way of life and a civilized behavior for all nations and all men and women. We exert efforts to educate and train core groups within the community to become principal actors in promoting a culture of peace on the local as well as the regional levels. To achieve this, IPS teaches the essence of a culture of peace, human rights, conflict resolution, negotiation, and mediation. In that context, we have established a very good working rapport and cooperation with a number of international institutions, universities, and institutes involved with peace studies all over the world. We have cooperated with the UN-mandated University of Peace in Costa Rica, several research groups and think tanks in Egypt, in Europe, in Asia, as well as the International Peace Bureau, who has granted us its membership, and we have become a member of this prestigious Nobel Peace Prize institution. We are also looking forward to cooperating with the Wikipedia Foundation, since its mission is to spread knowledge and information, which is indeed a human right and responsibility, not only as a means of education, but also as a means to bring people together and to promote dialogue, coexistence, and mutual understanding. And I take the opportunity of the presence of Jimbo Wales and other responsible people of Wikipedia to extend the hand of cooperation between the Institute of Peace Studies and Wikipedia. Thank you very much for your attention, and I am again very happy to take part in that important session on human rights.